dear friends, welcome back again. So happy you popped over again to see what I am up to today. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, I hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone here who is not subscribed to my channel, of course, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and of course, hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. Like I always say, enough talking and let's jump into today's inspiration. And here you see already everything we need for this DIY. Of course, our tumbling tile blocks, the smaller blocks. And I have here a little package of skewers, if I'm correctly. We call them satay prikker. So you can use them also for marshmallows in a fire. That's kind of wood pieces. Of course, we have some paint. I have my creamy color and the brown color. My saucer with an old piece of kitchen towel which is wet. Of course, some duct tape, of adhesive tape, how you call it. I have here my little container with everything inside, my brushes, markers, scissors, some mud pots, and of course my wood glue. Always try a wood glue and buy them as cheap as you can. And I have here my print from a little barn. So of course, I think a couple of months earlier I made a barn planter, but I want to change them up and I want to see what I can do with another barn. So we will see how this will turn out. And these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. And of course, a lot of people ask, how many blocks do you use? Like I told everyone who is already for a long time, I can tell you how much I use because I make the DIY along the way. I have it in my head and I don't know how this will turn out. So if you have always 4 until 5 packages laying around in your stash, you always have enough. So that's what I always say. Use 4 until 5 packages and then you must easily make every DIY. So we are going to make this barn. So the first step, what we're going to do, I'm going to tell you because we're going to cut it out. I'm going to tell you the measurement of my barn because that's important for your piece. Of course, we make it always a little bigger so you can make your own silhouette. I just printed this one out from Google. You can find any barn. I did mine a little longer. So he was originally a little smaller. So I just took the line of the picture a little longer so he is a little longer shape because I don't want it too big, and especially if you have small spaces, don't do it too wide. If you're going to look, the middle piece of this barn is in centimeters. He will be 25.5, and in inches it is, I have to look for, in inches he is 10 inches long, and in the opening on the underside he will be, of course, maybe I first can give you this one. In inches, it is 7.5. And in centimeters, it is 19. So you can also, if you're a great, someone who can draw really nice, you also can put your measurement. You just place this on a piece of wood. The measurement over here, you do this one over here. And then you can easily sign it your own. So you don't need the print always. And the underside is 18 centimeters. And in inches, it is 7.3. It's not really totally 7.5, but you can do 7.5. But I will do 7.3. So then you have all the measurements you need for the barn. And I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to cut it out, but I won't bore you with that. I will cut it out of camera. So you see already I cut out my print, and for everyone at least who uses the silhouette, or else I would just go for, you need for the white, you need 13 blocks and you need to make them 5 high. So for everyone who is drawing it later, just use 5 times 13 blocks high. So I'm going to make 5 times 13 blocks and then we're going to glue them together. This is only the front side. We also need, of course, the back side. And you see already, I have my 5 times 13 blocks. So for this front side, you already need I have 65 blocks. I have to think there because you count differently than we do in the Netherlands. So of course you need 65 blocks for the front side and of course also for the back side. but in your packages are more blocks than in mine, because I only have 54 blocks in mine. So, and I paid €3 for every package. So you have it much cheaper, because if I'm correctly, you have it for $1.25 until $2 if everything is correctly. But it's of course a little different where you live, but much cheaper than I have, especially because you already have more pieces inside than we do. And that's really, my blocks are going as crazy. I always order them with 100 packages in once, because it is going so fast. So this is number 12, and number 13 is the closure up. We're going to squeeze it from within, and we're going to make a nice straight line. We're going to do here the same, squeeze it from within, and make sure that we have a straight line. I only do these two together with you, because or else it takes much too long of your time. So I'm going to make this one, and again, feel with your fingers. If you use a metal hook, just take your advantage with the metal hook, because I have one, but I'm so used to doing it this way. So I'm going to squeeze it, and now I'm going to do the other 3 also, but a little faster. So I have my 5 pieces of 13 blocks, and I'm going to carefully lay them on the side. Of course they can break, but it doesn't matter, don't worry about it. You can easily get them together. You go to the tops and you make a line over here. You do it over here. Make sure that every block has some glue over here. And we do the same over here. And the last, already number 4. And this way. And now easily we're going to place them down against the other one. We do it over here. Place it down. And of course you see already the measurements are not always the same, but it doesn't matter, because you make one plank out of it and you're just going to saw it out. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't completely works together. So we just make, and we're going to squeeze it a little, give it a little bit of pressure from the sides to fill in the open gaps as much as you can, because most of the time you can easily fill in the open gaps. And this way, and we go over it. And we're wiping away our glue, because or else it will be one big mess. And we're going to leave this for a couple of hours drying before we're going to saw it with our jigsaw, or maybe with your hand. You can do it any way you like, but of course it needs to dry a couple of hours. And I make the second one. So, and you see already I have now also number 2 of the back side is finished. So we have 2 planks of 5 times 13, 5 rows of 13 blocks. So we have the front and the back side of the barn. We are going to now make the roof of the barn. So that will be the next step, because there are not a lot of steps for making this barn. And you see already a lot of blocks are on my table. If everything is correctly, here are laying 48 blocks. Of course, we use 24 double blocks. So it's easy. We're just going to do some glue on the top. Place it against each other this way. We do some glue on the top. And we're going to place them against each other. And that's, we make 3 rows of the 2 blocks, and in total you will have 24 double blocks. That's why you need 48 blocks loose. So, and I'm going to do only this row together. The rest I will do a little faster, because I think you already know how to glue this together. You see already we have here our 24 pieces of 2. I lay them on the side so they dry a little bit better. In a moment I'm going to lay them in a straight line. You see already I did all 24 pieces of 2. I lay them on a 1 row, and I'm going to get my tape, and I'm going to do a tape in the middle, because it's easy to do in the middle, but you can also do 2 pieces. Maybe I will do 2 with a little bit of overlay to give it more steadiness, but I have to think if I'm going to do this. I'm sorry for the noise. I'm sorry. So I'm going to see where I need to cut it. Of course, I do it just with my eyes. And I'm just going to start on the underside. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more than one piece because I don't want that it breaks. And very easy, lay it on top, over here. And I need a little extra at the ending because he needed to be a little longer than this. So I'm going to do the other tape also. Take your time for it. That's really important because it's for your roof and it needs to hang very easy over it. So you see already, I have it already in one piece and now I can do anything with it that I want. You can place it on the half and you can make a nice roof out of it. We will see how this will turn out. I have no idea. So but we're just going to try it and we can see where it will bring us. So this one can also dry still because the blocks are not totally dry yet. So I'm going to give it a couple of at least an hour time also. We are going to go further with, of course, the bottom. So now we have the front and the back side. We have the roof if everything is correctly and it fits nice. We have no idea. We are going to get 5 blocks for the bottom where the whole barn is standing on. So we do very easy. We do some glue on the sides. Over here, place them together in a group of 5. So number 4 and number 5 is of course the closure up. You're going to squeeze it, press it together this way, and we're going to make another piece of 5, another piece of 5, and another one of 5, and the last. And now we have 5 pieces of 5. So, and this we're going to roll together until the bottom, and he's wider than our barn because I want to do on the sides because it will be a tree farm. So for the Christmas trees, and you can use it for maybe for some flowers. You can make a flower barn. You can do anything you like, maybe animals. So one of the front side of the barn also will be cutting off a piece, so you can really use it for also for the inside. But that's later. Now we're only going to make the bottom a number 4. And we're going to squeeze them. And you see already he wants to pop off or pop up. This better word in English. Pop off is not a word. So I'm going to squeeze it. I'm going to wipe away the glue. And we're going to let this rest for a couple of minutes. Not too long because you know we still can redo it if we do it within a couple of minutes. Again, I'm going to wait. So now we have our 5 pieces and we're going to lay them on the side because we're going to make one bottom out of it. And this is number 2. And it doesn't matter, like I told you earlier, it doesn't matter if it falls apart. You can easily place it together again. With wood glue or with hot glue, it's always much difficult because it is breaking easy and it dries really fast. So most of the time I was almost too late every time with my hot glue because I always am thinking, what can I do? So the hot glue is always faster than me. maybe that's the problem. So you see, I'm going to wipe away and I'm going to squeeze it and fill in the open gaps. And we're going to let this rest for at least also an hour. So now we have our bottom and we're going to place it over here and we're going to get, of course, our 2 pieces of, I have to place it down because he's stuck on the table. He really is totally stuck on my mat. So now both of them are free now. So I'm going to get one of them. What I'm going to do, I'm going to look for the underside, which one is the flattest because of the smoothest, how you call it. We call it in the Netherlands, we call it glad. So that means that it is a very smooth line. So, and we call this glad. So we have our barn. We're going to place it on top. And if you look carefully and you have the same measurements I have, Then if everything is correctly, one block is falling off, and here also 2 pieces, and then you can easily go to this point and this point, and it is very easy to do. So we're just going to get our marker, and I'll make sure that I have my barn on the underside, and I have to place this a little bit more down, and I'm going to make this line very easy. Over here, make a line this way, and I'm going to get it to this side. Of course, I don't need this one. I'm just going to make the line because I need to saw it out the easiest way. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make sure that I have this line, and in a moment I'm going to go get my ruler, and I'm going to make a nice straight line because the roof needs to be in a straight line. So I'm only making little marks over here, and I'm going to cut out over here this way, and I'm going to make this line also over here, and then I'm going to go around this one, you see, over here. And what I'm going to do, this is already the outside shape, but you see already we had 13 blocks. 2 pieces are falling out because I'm going to saw them out. We have left over 11. From the 11 pieces from the inside, we take 5 blocks this way, and we're going to cut it out, this piece. Of course, now we need 1, 2, 3. We make a line over here in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we make the line over here. And if it's correctly, you also have 3 blocks over here. We do not 1 block high, we do 2 blocks high, because we need the door. And we're going to place this one over here, and that's a really great thing we can easily saw out. So I'm also getting my ruler, and I'm going to make the lines very sharp. I'm going to show it to you a little close. I hope you can see it on camera. So for one side we're going to make a door, for the other side we only do also the silhouette only. So I'm going to do the other one, and then I'm going to saw it out with my jigsaw. If you don't have it, and maybe someone, maybe your husband or maybe a friend can saw it out for you, but you also can do it with a hand saw, but it's a little bit harder. But they are easy lines to make. They are really not hard to do. So I hope you give this one a try. So this is already the front side I did cut out, and was lucky because I didn't wait the hours that it was needed to let it dry. I'm going to, you see, this one is fitting nicely over here and this over here. So I hope I can use this side for the sides. Maybe I need a block longer, and then I already can use this 2 blocks also. So this is already the front side. Now I'm going to double it up, but the other one I'm going to leave this one inside, of course, the back side. So, but I'm happy for now how this one is turned out, and it is a very, very easy shape. I really didn't need a couple of minutes just to cut it. I just did this piece, this, and this around, and it is really so easy to do. So if everything is correctly, you have now 2 of the pieces of your barn, the front side and the back side. We are going to get the pieces we already made. I have here the 5 I just fell out of the door, but if you don't have it, just glue 6 blocks in a row. And I don't know if I keep it this way because the saw line is not straight, so I'm not really happy how this is turned out. I think I'm going to get 6 blocks again, 2 pieces of 6 blocks for the sides, because or else you see already this one line is totally not straight, so I'm not really going to like it. So I'm going to make 6 new blocks. I'm going to leave them maybe for something else later. So 4 pieces and 4 pieces, and you see here I have 3, 6. I'm going to do them in a new way because I am not happy if the sides are not straight. So this is number 3, number 4, and these 2 we are already gluing together. So we have 6 pieces. And here the same 6 pieces. So of course it takes a little bit more of your blocks, but at the end I think it gives a more high-end look. So I'm going to do number 4 and number 5, and number 6 is the closure up again. Squeeze it press it together and give it a couple of minutes rest before we're going to place it on the side. So 6 blocks and 6 blocks, and let it dry. So we gave our 2 pieces of 6 a couple of minutes. What we're going to do, we're going to get the back side of our barn. What we're going to do, we're going to place this on the side. We do some glue over here, and we're going to place this one at the ending of the barn, so on the inside. Make sure that you always have the underside flat, because that's really important, because we need to glue this later on our bottom. It needs to be glued on top of here, so make sure that the bottom is straight. We do here the same. Of course, what you also can do, just make a simple line on your barn. It's also fine too. Maybe I make it difficult for nothing. It doesn't matter. So we're going to place this one over here. Make sure that you have a straight line and give it a little bit of pressure. And feel with your fingers and wipe away the glue you don't need very carefully. And everything stands with, if you just feel with your fingers, make sure that you have a nice straight line, or else go a little bit to the side, that everything is fitting nicely. And we do here the same. Here is fitting nicely, here it is, and this one. And now we're going to get 2 loose blocks, and you see already the top over here. I'm going to do 1 block, and I'm going to make it fitting for the side. So he will not be straight on top. He will be a little bit sideways. So we only do some glue on the underside. We don't glue the sides. So very easy. We just going to place this in between against the other one, but not totally over here. And make sure that he keeps inside of your backside, because or else later you get problems if you want to fold your roof over it. So make sure that you have this one. Give it some pressure. And we do here the same. And in a moment I show it to you a little bit closer, because maybe this is a little bit difficult to see, and I don't want that you get problems for making it, because I have to give it a little bit sideways over here, because not every side is the same. So I'm going to work my way. This one needs to go out a little, and this one needs to go this way. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes drying, and then you are going to show it to you. So I show it to you a little bit close, because or else it is maybe you see it this way, and I'm going to show it to you this way. I hope you can see it, because the wood is a little bit with some lines, so I hope you can see it right. So now it looks a little strange, but later when we're going to place, of course, the other part on top of it, and then the roof, I hope everything is fitting, but I don't know. I really don't know. We will see how this will turn out, but even when it doesn't fit, we will make it fit. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes extra, and then I'm going to do some glue over here, and we're going to place the top side of the barn on it. So before I'm going to glue my pieces, I make sure that I have a paint can on top of here. And of course, I'm going to do some glue over here on the sides. And we could do it over here. And now we're going to place this one on top. And we're going to make sure that we have our paint can, so everything can stick already very nicely, because if you leave it alone, it will fall apart, because the top is heavier than the other side. So we're going to give here some pressure, and we're going to give here some pressure. Only the most important is make sure that the underside is straight on all sides, because that's the most important. The sides you can work something with it, but if you want to place it on top of here, you have to be sure that everything is fitting nicely. So you see already I need also a piece of, or I can use my bottom this way. I'm going to place it on top, feel with my fingers before I'm going to place my paint can, that everything is sticking nicely. And of course, it takes a little of your time. I know for some people this is already taking much too long, but I also want to show you how it is in real life, that you are struggling sometimes to get things even, and things are not totally always going perfectly. So that's also what I want to show you. I have to feel with my finger, so my piece is in a straight line and he is still not in a straight line. And now he is. And now I'm going to place my paint can on top of here to make sure that everything is drying nicely. So, and this is already the frame of our barn. What we're going to do, we're going to do the roof on top, but I was already seeing I don't have any space where I can do my wood glue because I did everywhere some tape. So don't make the mistake like I did. Just do it the way I told you in the beginning. Do one tape over here and not two, only one, because later you're only going to glue it. So it's enough steadiness as it is. So only do one piece over here. I'm going to get my knife over here and I'm going to cut off the half from this side and the half from this side. So very easy. I'm just going to go over it and just going to get a piece out of here, and then I have also one only in the middle. So you see already I have my pieces off. I just took one over here and one over here. What I'm going to do first, I'm going to paint the inside of this roof, the inside and the sides, not the other side, not this side. I do this later, but first this side and only the sides around. And I'm going to paint my barn in the red color, and I'm going to paint this one, the bottom, in the white, this in the white, this in the white of creamy, and this will be in the red. So it's very easy because we only need a couple of things. And I'm going to paint one of the pieces which we are broken out over here, we're going to use as a sign on top. So I'm going to paint this one also in the creamy color. So, and you see I use creamy color, but you can choose any color you like. Of course, the paint in between doesn't have to be perfectly painted because it's in the inside. You don't ever see it again. Only the sides over here, this side, because it's hanging over a little piece, and the sides need to be nicely painted. So just take your time for that one, but the middle is not really important. So I'm going to take my time for this one in creamy, and this one and this one. So now I have this piece painted in the creamy color. Now I'm going to do the red, the barn this time in the red. I know it's a little different for me. Normally I don't do it a lot in colors, but now I'm going to give this one a red color. So I'm going to start a little bit from within, not totally, but only the pieces you will see. So I'm going to take my time for it, and you see in a moment, of course, how everything is finished already. So the barn is drying, the roof is drying, and the bottom is drying. And you see I still have my two pieces of scrap wood. I didn't use them, I didn't paint them, because I took out my ladders and using the wooden ladders. It's very thin ladders. You can use some sticker ladders, Scrabble ladders. You can make a rider on top of it. I'm not a great rider, at least not for making nice birds. So I'm going to have my wood and I'm going to make tree farm, because it will be a tree farm for me. You can make any farm like I told you earlier, but I'm going to paint my ladders in the creamy white color. So I'm going to take the same like I did the roof and the bottom. I'm going to paint them in this that color, so it looks a little bit more coming out when I'm going to paint them. So I'm going to lay it over here and I'm going to paint, and then we're going to glue it. Before we're going to do the roof, we're going to glue it on the farm. So, and my letters I'm going to paint, but I also took 4 of 5 of my skewers, you see, kind of wooden pins, and I'm going to paint them also in the creamy white color, because later I think I'm going to decorate a little on the farm on the sides of it. So, and I think you can better have it laying around than you later still need to paint it. So I'm going to get my paint and I'm going to paint my skewers in one piece, because it's easy to do it this way than one by one. So I'm going to also do this one and the letters. So I did lay a piece of kitchen paper on top of my mat because I don't want to scratch the back side of my barn. I'm going to place it over here this way, and I'm going to get my letters tree farm, and I'm going to look for where I want to have them on top of my barn. So I'm going to do it a little bit sideways, I think, over here, and another E over here, and maybe I do farm straight, I don't know yet. I will look for, but do it ever the way you think it's right, because decorating is also someone's taste, so you don't have to do it the way that everyone do it. Just do the way you think it's fitting for your decor. So I'm going to think for going for this way. So I'm going to glue it on top, but I won't bore you with that. So I have my letters on top and they are drying right now. I have my skewers which I painted. I'm going to look for if I like it. I'm going to place one over here and I'm going to cut it, I think, over here. And I hope I have the right place. And I'm going to do one this way. So I'm going to look for if it's not too long, and of course he is a little too long, but I have him rather a little bit too long than too short, because or else I can't glue it on anymore. So I'm going to make sure that I have it this way. This is already one. I'm going to do the same, but I have to be careful because I already see that my farm is not totally dry yet. I have a little bit of red on top of here. So you see, I don't know, yes, I think this one is also even big enough. And of course I also can do just them together and I can easily cut them. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but you see already, you learn every time. So again, I'm going to cut it. So now I have two pieces, one over here, one this way and one on the other way. I'm going to glue them first on top of here just with a simple dot of wood glue, and then we're going to make the little cross over here. But first I'm going to do a little drop of glue. I hope that I don't do too much because we don't want too much over here, and we're going to easily lay this in between over here. And of course it takes a little of your time to glue it over here, and we do here the same, a little drop over here and over here, and we place this one also in between, and just feel with your fingers and press it down and give it at least a couple of minutes dry. So I have these two pieces and they are really vulnerable because they are still moving around. I'm going to get little pieces of my skewers and just going to place them over here. Look for where I can place them here, and I have maybe a smaller one over here. So I'm going to fix this, and here also two little small ones, but take your time for this because it is a little tricky. It's easier just to get a marker and just mark it in the cross. It's a lot easier. We will see how this will turn out. So, and here you see already how he turned out for now. Of course, if you have a better way to do the crosses, yeah, except for a marker, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know. If this is always difficult. I also tried already to do it over it. Doesn't work also. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this one over on the side, and I'm going to do on the inside, I'm going to do my glue, because we're going to glue it on the bottom of our, oh, you see what this one, and of course over here in the middle, over here. And I'm going to place my bottom over here, and I'm going to place it in the middle. Of course I have to look for where the middle is for me. Over here I'm going to place it down, and I'm going to go a little bit to the back side, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, And I'm going to let this dry at least a half hour. I gave it a half hour, but it's of course not totally dry. What I'm going to do this side with glue and this side with glue, this over here and the front also. Then I'm going to let it dry in for at least 15 minutes before I'm going to place my roof on top. And then I'm going to do the roof on top, and as last piece we only need to paint the outside and then we are finished. So I'm just going to, just this way, I'm just going to go run over and go down and go down. And I'm not totally going to the underside. I stop a little in front of, before that I have to say, of course, this way. And I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to do here the same. A little extra on the top. And we do it over here. We go down. And we stop. And we do here a little extra on the top. And we go down. And of course we stop over here. Now we're going to give it at least, like I said, 15 minutes, and then I'm going to place my roof in the middle. And it is very easy because you have 24 pieces. You do the half, and that's 12. You just do it this way, place it on top and work your way down, and just keep it with your hands in place. I show it to you in a moment. So I place my barn this way because I also need to have this one in the middle. I have here two little markers over here, which one I need to place it in the middle, because this is the middle. So I have one over here and one over here. So I'm going to place this one, but of course I still need to get this one in the middle, and I have it over here in the middle. So it is a little tricky. So I hope I have this one on the place I need to have it. Of course, it is not really a disaster if it is a little the wrong side, but oh my, we will see how this will turn out. Of course, now I have to turn it. If I have it on the right spot, I think I'm going to do it a little more over to my side, and then we're going to press the first layer. Later we're going to do the rest, but first we're going to do this one, and we're going to make sure that everything is sticking nicely. So we give it some pressure at least for a couple of minutes, and then later we're going to build further down. So it is a little bit of a task, and every time you need to, until it is dried up, just give it a little bit of pressure over here, because I can place a paint can on top of here. So that's really hard to do. So I'm going to every time give some pressure. You see here the opening is not a nice opening. I took a piece of dowel. You can buy them anywhere. I just measured out 2 blocks wide, because this is 2 blocks wide. I measured it out, and now I can easily glue this on top of here also, and we have a nice finishing touch on the top, because if we don't like it, that is not a nice ending. So we do some wood glue over here in the middle, over here, enough, because we want to have it that it glues very nice. And we're going to place this in between, because we still need to paint it. So again, this is also drying immediately, the same like the roof. Just take your time for it. That's the key here in this barn. Take your time. So again, I'm going to give it a half hour drying, and then I'm going to paint the roof, and then it's finished and we can decorate it. So I'm already to the last step of this DIY, and that's painting the roof, of course, in the creamy color, or maybe you do another color. I have to say, this DIY, it is with parts is only a front side, a back side, a little pieces for the side, and of course the roof with some duct tape. So it's only a couple of parts. The only hardest is, of course, getting the roof a little bit nicely fitting on top of your barn. But For the rest, it is so easy to make, so I hope you give this one also a try. You see in a moment a quick impression how I decorated this tree farm. And here you see finally a quick impression of my tumbling tower blocks tree farm. And I'm so happy how this cute little barn turned out, and you can decorate it anyway. I did it for the Christmas, but of course you can do it for any season. I hope you give this one also a try, and if you are here and you only love to watch, I hope you had fun watching again. For everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw, and if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time I upload new DIYs. For more DIYs, come on over to the description box and you'll find there all the links you need for our DIY channels. Hope to see you there. Have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!